lovely people, we can see that for some time now, the internet has been on fire between South Africans and Nigerians. South Africans are accusing Nigerians of what is going on in their country, while Nigerians too are accusing South Africans that they are the cause of their problem. So I have screen recorded so many of the banters on TikTok Live. You know, when you go to TikTok Live now, there are so many groups. Some discussing on how to push Nigerians away, or also discussing on how to sanitize their country. And Nigerians too are also defending themselves in their own way. So I have screen recorded everything. I want you guys to watch the video very well. But for my own opinion, before I go on to play the video, I would say that Nigerians, if you are not needed in South Africa, come back home. Stop going to South Africa. Stop going to a place that you know that you're not being needed. Though I cannot generalize it, because so many of the South Africans also need Nigeria. That is what you have to understand. So in this video, I'm going to play you for you to understand everything. So it's not all the South Africans are pushing for Nigerians to leave their country. Some too are in the opinion that their government should do the needful. And some too, they are in the opinion that we should take the laws into our hands. So, but the ones that I am not cool with is other countries are coming to back South Africans. There are countries like, I see some people from Cameroon saying trash and asking them to go ahead and kick Nigerians out and all those things. And I also see another group of South Africans saying that their problem is not just Nigerians, but other African countries also, that they don't need any African country in their country, that SA should be for SA alone. Asking those countries to mention that the amount of money that they gave to Nelson Mandela, so that they can easily refund that money back to them, and know that they don't have anything in common. They don't have anything to do with those countries. So watch the video and put your own opinion down. For my own opinion, I would say, I know that a lot of some of our people too, they do illegal business, but majority of Nigerians too don't do illegal business. I want you to watch this video and listen to Nigerians, what they have to say about the whole situation. They have been accused of destroying South Africa, and Nigerians too are accusing South Africans of destroying their own country. So I want you to listen to the video very well. Watch the video, put a comment down, like the video. Let's know your own opinion. Now, don't also forget what is going on in Burkina Faso. He's the living legend of Africa right now. He's the living legend of Africa right now. Let's give him support. If you have somebody like him, if you have 10 of that man in Africa, I believe that we will not be running to Europe and America the way we have been doing. We are talking about top 50 million richest people in Nigeria. No, you will never see anybody who lives in South Africa. I'm telling you. When I'm talking about richest people in Nigeria, they base there in Nigeria. They don't base in abroad. You understand? Our land is also good to make money. So, my people, if you are not needed in South Africa, that is my own opinion. Return back home. For those of you planning to go to South Africa, don't remove that in your mind. Forget about that. You are not needed in South Africa, according to some South Africans.
That are controlling the powers in South Africa. And the question is, who are the people controlling things in South Africa? I don't want you to look as if I'm attacking the white people. But the other race that is in South Africa, controlling South Africa with the government, are the issues of South Africa, not the migrants. Also, this person that came up and said that all Nigerians have to go. Why didn't all the white people leave South Africa when South Africa got their independence? If you want to chase people, all the white people leave South Africa. Why is it that a minority of white people are the ones controlling South Africa? Since you want to chase foreigners away from your country, that's another one. Then that person that is saying that Nigerians are the ones influencing South Africa. Do you know how many South Africans that are in Nigeria? Do you know that Nigeria is a country where you come, they don't tell you you are a South African as a black person? Africa, constant to they produce powder, they import powder for South Africa, can't go for all their villages, they distribute them one after the other, and you forget that a drug business cannot run. Sorry, a powder business is a cartel business. And you cannot start a cartel in a country where you don't have base. There needs to be somebody. So, first things first, I'll still go back to my first point.
Even in the government.
Their problem is their politics. Their problem is their politics. They should channel their energy to their politicians. not to Nigerians. Nigeria is not the problem
I'm
of
not
South
even
Africa.
interested in their problem. I don't go to people's house to tell them their
Someone is
problem.
saying to come and do what?
I'm
Someone is
not
saying to come and
interested.
do
I'm
what?
not
You people
interested
say
in.
you're
I'm not
smart and you're
interested.
hardworking. You say you're smart
I'm
and
not
hardworking.
interested in
Come up and prove your
people's problem.
smartness.
Everybody has their own problem.
Come up and
Focus on
prove
your
your
problem.
smartness.
I'm not, because we self, like, we have our own problem. So, but I'm not here to say their problem I'm not even interested. It's not an interest.
Come up
My
and
my
prove your
My
my
own is
only
Sai,
how
smartness.
the reason why
we help our people
the reason why I
to
pointed the
not to
problem,
go
my
that side.
Sai,
my only
Sai,
problem my
Yes,
only
brother.
Sai,
problem
the
is
reason
not
why I
I need
pointed
a
their
male. I
problem
need a
is,
South African male.
Sky, most of them come up here, they don't even know, they are clueless about their problem. They don't even know that their problem is their politics. They just come up and start saying things that they see on media. They don't even do concrete. They can't even back up what they are saying with facts. They don't have any, like if you ask them, okay, give me numbers. The other person came, there are 500,000 Nigerians. There are 36,000. They don't even have facts. So they don't know that there is something that is happening around the world, not just in South Africa. Politically, people manipulate their country. It's up to the citizens of the country to try as much as possible to make sure that they don't dwell in that manipulation. But it's unfortunate that countries like South Africa don't even know that they are being manipulated.
Guys,
That is the problem. They don't know.
guys, I can't see any South African male that wants to come up. So the first one that came up,
They
actually,
can. They obviously cannot. They obviously cannot come up.
Kiwi,
unfortunately,
that's why I asked her.
unfortunately, the first one we brought up, they asked him his gender. He was like, "What is gender? What is gender?"
Oh
He
Jesus!
was struggling to know what is gender.
Jesus, Jesus.
Mazititi, I don't know if you want to take this
And they are
over to
very
your live
smart.
stream, but we finish them because I won't go rest tomorrow. I don't know if someone else wants to take it to the live stream.
Go take
Before I migrate to my live stream, there are a few things I want to make clear here.
Okay.
When you're raised and fed with hatred all your life, that is how you turn out. You turn out by blaming someone else. You don't take responsibility, you don't take
Yeah.
accountability, and you just blame someone else. It doesn't work that way to blame someone else. So now, Mexicans, Colombians, South Americans, Nicaraguans, they run the highest white business from Colombia to Miami. They were running it during Pablo Escobar. DEA didn't start saying all the Latin American people should go back to Latin America or
Never.
take their passport from them.
Never.
What did they do? They developed a system to go find out who was in charge. When they conducted the investigation, they said, "Oh, it's El Chapo." They hunted El Chapo down until they were able to incarcerate him. That is one. Now, a Nigerian cannot go to a country, a foreigner cannot come to a country and establish a business, and the business start flourishing without the help of the nationals. You need to find out your people want it so much. They are nose ready, they are mouth ready, they cannot do without it. That is why they need the supply. They are lazy, they sit at home all day on government benefits. The women are busy dropping children left, right, and center after being cooked up. That is why they are busy dropping children left, right, and center. The problem remains that you people don't want to look at what the problem is in the system. You guys are clueless about your fellow African countries. You don't know your neighboring African countries. You don't want to know anything about them. You guys are clueless about what's going on around the world. You are uneducated and you are uninformed. You don't want to associate with anybody. You don't want to know what's going on anywhere, but you just want to portion blame. That is lack of responsibility. Be responsible. Your government should be responsible for what they are doing. They're the one that needs to be responsible. I have never seen Americans come out to protest that, oh, Indians should go, like Mexicans should go. They are the one doing this, they are the one doing that. Rather, they take it to their government to say, you people are allowing this to happen, make it stop. If South Africa want to be sophisticated in a way whereby nobody is able to do anything, they will. But your government love it because they are taking the deep pockets. They are being sorted, they are being given.
Thank you.
Your country is so
Thank you.
corrupt. Deep down inside, it's so corrupt. And it is so sad that Your men can't even come out and speak to men. You are in the comment section and your fingers are busy. Come and talk to men. Argue with facts. Don't argue with fiction. Don't argue with them say. Oh, they said. Because you can't tell me that your media house is free of corruption. You can't tell me that your police is free of corruption. You can't tell me that your country is free of corruption. That's why you're coming here to say take responsibility. Nobody just goes to a country and start running business. You need to be in the country. Somebody in the country is the one that will tell you where you need to deal and where you cannot deal. Somebody in the country who is a citizen is going to tell you the routes, where you need to follow, where you don't need to follow. Who is your tour guide? You can't go to a country and just navigate yourself. You need a tour guide. That is why they are tour guides. So a tour guide, South Africans are the tour guide who are allowing the people come run things because they are cooked up, they love it, they enjoy it, they keep demanding for more. And the supply will keep coming because people want to make money. So if you want to trickle down on what is going on and face what's going on, change what is going on, change the things in the country. No, you say, oh, they are homeless. They are homeless because your government refused to renew their papers. They are homeless because your sisters took the best of them and kicked them out on the street and moved on to the next man. They are homeless because they can't find a job. They are homeless because you people don't treat them like they're human. They are your brothers, they are your sisters, you don't care. But when the chips are down, you want to come, when the chips are down, you want to come down and now start spinning things. Why would you be spinning things? Stop spinning the narrative. Nigerians has never blamed any African living in Nigeria for the problem we have in Nigeria. Nigerians have never blamed any foreigner living in Nigeria. Over 1 million people live in Nigeria, foreigners. They live in all our cities. Nigerians have never blamed foreigners for what's going on in Nigeria. We blame the government, and we fight the government. Nigerians have never, and we blame ourselves. We have never for one day gone out to protest for foreigners should leave our country. In what country do you live in? In what globe do you live in that you go out and you blame a minority? 36,000 is like people living in a community block. To be what is responsible for affecting 60 million people, you must be dumb. Probably you didn't do mathematics to understand how things work. How can you keep blaming? For the last 10 years, you've been doing the same blaming and nothing has changed in your country. So it is so sad. I will never go to South Africa. I will never encourage my friend to go to South Africa. I will never encourage my brother to go to South Africa, even for free. They are not accommodating. They don't love you. They don't want you. DSTV has been in Nigeria for over 4 decades. They have no property in Nigeria. They don't employ our people to the top positions and they don't pay us well. They make the most money by providing digital television, and they bribe our government, and no other indigenous TV company can rise. They take the money back to your home country and they invest. Oh, they have multi-choice league. MTN does not have a property in Nigeria. They've been running Nigeria now for the past 3 decades, past 2 decades and a half now. They've been running Nigeria. They are the Nigerians that must subscribe to them. We welcome your businesses, but you won't allow our brothers have a business in your country. You won't allow our brothers to have papers. Our brothers will marry your sisters by your law. They are supposed to be citizens. All right, by law, but you don't. They live in the country 14 years. You don't allow them renew their right to stay, and you can't allow them to leave their country, back to their country. But all this, you still blame it on these particular people. Look inward, you will find out what the problem is. An average South African man cannot stand par to par with a Nigerian. An average South African cannot stand toe to toe with a Nigerian. You will be scared. You will be scared. So your women can't get enough of us because we work hard, we play hard, and we fuck even harder. So that's why your women cannot get enough of us. That's why they cannot get enough of us.
Make we move and go.
Mazi, thank you. I'm turning off. Ladies and gentlemen, Mazi, Queen, Chidera, Ole, Franco, UG, Honeybees, SKW, everyone
I
who
give a
has
follow, guys. Give a follow back.
everyone who
See you
has
guys later.
shared all the likes. I really appreciate everyone here. I'll say it again, please, guys. Anywhere you see people talking down on Nigerians, remind them and tell them who you are. Tell them show them who you are. Remind them that this is who we are. If you have any problem with any specific Nigeria, drag that person out. If you guys get any Nigerian doing something illegal in your country, take them back to Nigeria. Stop dragging the whole Nigerians. Because if we give them the smoke, some of you can't carry it. I'm a Nigerian, I'm a proud Nigerian, and I will always be one. So you guys...
the reason why Nigerians are on the rise in terms of criminal activities everywhere in the world, because statistics shows that there are every arrest, in every 2 or 4 people arrested, 2 or one of them will be a Nigerian. And the population is like that throughout the world. And they took advantage of the kindness of the South Africans when South Africa decided to open doors to most African countries to say, come, let us live together in unity. Unfortunately, this syndrome of where you want to poison other people's children, or you want to come up with this selfish kind of attitude where you don't care about the lives of the people that you have inherited or that you have found in that country. To me, that is an attitude that we need to get rid of, no matter whether they are our brothers, that they are African brothers and sisters, but if they show us a different attitude, that they are not caring of what they are doing, the illicit activities taking place, and the number of criminal activities are so high, then we have the right to stand up against such kind of illicity. Because lubata bana baluna, bazue hande, bapile hande, bahule hande, without any criminal mindset. So I am happy that it is okay for us to come out, or for you, my brothers and sisters in South Africa, to stand your ground and say no to powder, say no to illicit activities taking place on your soil. If they are our brothers that are committing crimes on our own soil and they are South Africans, that's our baby, and that we can sort out our problems because they are our people and we know how to talk to them. But when we see a foreigner coming all the way from West Africa, and they are in huge number committing heinous crimes where they are even teaching our young generation or abusing them in all criminal activities, then we have the right to get worried and say, no, enough is enough. And this is why I want to also appeal to us. Let us put our leaders to task. Let us get rid of those that are not working, and let us put up, vote for those that we know will be able to drive us to the promised land. Because the struggle never started today. The struggle started a long time ago. And these people that are coming to infiltrate our land, they are just coming to delay our promised land. So we come from very far, so we need to unite. Need to mess.
But you are, thank you, brother. I'm sure you are aware that they're actually using your borders. They're actually transporting them by land now.
Exactly.
And they are actually traveling by land from Ethiopia, from Somali, from Nigeria to South Africa. They're bypassing the airports. I don't know if you read about your Zambian brother who was arrested, who's been a kingpin at OR Tambo airport.
Yes.
Who's involved in a trade of another, I think it's 200 million powder business as well.
I know, I am very much aware of those illicit activities taking place, and we even have some guys that were caught with some minerals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let us just realize one thing. Zambia is facing problems that South Africa is facing. It's just that you guys had your own internal problems and couldn't speak as much as we are speaking now. I mean, with whatever is happening in Zambia, whatever happened to President Levi Mwasa, and the diplomatic routes and all that. But Nigerians, and the Ethiopians, Eritreans, and Somalians and Ghanaians, they are now using your routes to South Africa.
Yeah, I know, and this is where I always look at the leadership that we elect. These are people that are also stabbing us in our back because we trust. They come to us with good messages, and then when we put them in power and they test the freedom of money, and they test the freedom of movements, and you see them start looking at us and as though we are now become beggars in our own countries. So I think it's high time that we can also take a step like our brothers in those countries that came out in numbers. It's the people, the majority, the people are the rulers. So if we spoke one voice and simply say no to the government that is not coming up with stiff laws, because when you make stiff laws, criminals are allergic to stiff laws. They will try to bring down or to negate the rules and the laws that you have enacted. But if we have parliamentarians that are simply bold and say, no, enough is enough, Alulati, we want to put up, if it means bringing back death penalty for criminals that are dealing with powder, let's give them that. You see how they are going to scamper the country. They will leave because they are allergic to such kind of stiff laws. The reason why they are coming to our countries to commit heinous crimes is because our laws somehow, they are a little bit weak and they have a lot of loopholes. But it is our duty to make stiff laws that will make sure that nobody, when they commit heinous crimes, they will never go. Why are they not going to North Korea? Because they know that in North Korea, they don't play. Anyone that deals in powder, you are found guilty, or just even suspect, you are gunned down by firing squad. Do you see them going
and here in North Korea, there's not even phones.
Exactly.
Of dealings. They
Exactly.
don't even have phones in North Korea. They're
So,
isolated from the real world.
stiff laws. Let's push these brothers and sisters of ours that are representing us, Mama Parliament, Yaluna. Let's tell them, come up with stiff laws that will make sure that when you, the government, are fighting on that end, we as a population, we are fighting on this side, talking such as on this fora, negating all those that are trying to destroy and kill our future generation. South Africa should be for South Africans. If we want to allow people to come and visit South Africa, let it be on our terms, not on their terms that now they put us to dance to their music. Why? Why are South Africans not in Nigeria to make Nigerians on their toes, to put them on their toes? Why are they coming to put you guys on your toes? That, to me, is a problem that we need to discuss, sit down around the table as brothers and sisters and find a permanent solution to this problem. Stiff laws. We need is it mangofulication or stiff leaders, these dictators that can just come up and say, you come here, you commit this.
Magulfication. Yeah, we need to magulficate them.
Yes, that is my point. That's my submission. Ritumez Mupira Hande.
Siyabonga, Patriots.
Its cause. Let there be law. What we are disagreeing here is you guys taking the law into your own hands, calling names to your fellow black people. It is a shame. It is very, very shameful. Because one thing I will tell you, every country has come into such a situation. Recently, we've been laughing at Zambia. They used to push wheelbarrows to go and buy a loaf of bread. But we are looking at a Zambia that's being stabilizing. So I'm saying in another words, stop putting the law into your own hands and stop hating other foreign nationals for the incompetency of the law of this country. That is so unfair. That much you can't hide about. It's the fact.
So tell me, wait, Ahmad. This is what I keep on saying. South Africa, it's a very big double standard what they're trying to do right now, because they complain about foreigners, yet they are undercutting those same foreigners and they are hiring them. And then you hire the same foreigners and you complain about them afterwards. That's a double standard, and it's a contradiction to your statements that you're saying.
No, but I don't think you guys have been listening. I've been saying those who've got the means of production, hear me out. Those with means of production, which is the whitey men majority, right, who are hiring locals. Hear me out, right? They they know very well what they are doing, right, to cause this animosity among siblings, right? They know very well that the law of the country states 1, 2, 3, because they don't want to contribute to the UIF, which is the pension fund, and all these benefits. They undercut. They hire someone who's not local, who will not necessarily complain.
How can you blame the hungry person?
Hear me out. I never blame the hungry person. Hear me out.
For eating what they can find. You guys can be comfortable in your country because you get benefits. Zimbabweans, Nigerians that come to your country don't have access to these benefits.
Hear me out, my sister.
Have to take the 500.
Hear me out. Why? Okay, let's spin this around. Let's throw it back then. Okay, I don't want to be that person, but I see like I'm being forced to ask this question. Why is it that then they have to come this side and all these issues must be solved this side and not in their country? Which is a wrong way to approach. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, ma'am, if I'm going to get Tiny Ray in South Africa, Tiny Ray is a professional. When you visit any other country, right, they want your skills. What is the rest skill? What is it that you can do for this country?
Ahmed, you said something like this. Why are these things happening in our country, but they are not fixing their own country? In their own country, they are not analyzing our South African brothers.
They don't have a voice. Not even another. You can't you can't strike like you're doing here. They can't do that. The rule of law. That's what we're talking about. South Africa needs a dictator who's sound. There must be a rule of law, like some of our African countries. They've got a rule of law.
But
in Botswana, what is happening in Botswana can't happen in South Africa.
Ahmad, what you're saying, it's another contradiction. You're saying, why are foreigners coming to your country and solving their problems there? Why are other South Africans in other countries instead of working there in South Africa? Why? It's a contradiction again.
Let me answer. Can I answer? So these other South Africans, how many are there and what is their profession in other countries?
There's so many South Africans who are waitresses and waiters in
here in the UK. There are most of them are in Dubai workers. Here they're care workers, and they're illegal as well. They came here on 6-month visitors visas, and they now work for. I've got a friend of mine who owns an agency, who employs seven illegal South Africans and a few Bafana bugs. You know.
Right. No, you're right. Let me answer. Let me respond. I want to respond to each and every one of you. My sister Monwazi just said the South Africans in the UK and stuff, right? She was able to identify what it is that they're doing, right? But I can tell you now, you drive down to Kempton Park or Sunnyside, you will find a bunch of them in the streets. Tell me what it is that they're doing. And would you say the same about South Africans that you see occupying the entire 5 hectares of a city, not doing anything? No, we're not saying that. That's where the argument is not going. We're not saying that. I'm saying
No, you're saying that you see a whole lot of them in the streets, but you'll never find a South African. Now you have to
I can't hear you, my sister, eh?